Hi and welcome back to another Amazon selling video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Nikki Kirk and I've been selling on Amazon all from my fifth wheel RV, doing retail arbitrage for about almost 4 years now. About 2 years ago, I started sharing my Amazon selling journey on Instagram, and friends and new sellers started asking me questions, and so my whole channel came about from just RV travel videos and then just answering questions on Amazon from new sellers on how to get started and what to do and what it is I actually do. So if you go back in the beginning of my channel, that is pretty much all my Amazon videos are just Q&A, answering questions I had got on Instagram, and then just making videos out of them. When I first discovered retail arbitrage and selling on Amazon, it was truly life-changing. It was something I could do anywhere, so it was perfect for traveling, and it was really easy once you got into it. So 4 years later, that is still one of the things I love most about selling on Amazon, is just how it was able to change my life. It allows me so much more freedoms because I can work when I want, I don't have to work when I don't want, and I don't have a boss or anyone that I'm answering to. I built my own business working for myself, and it's really been so incredible. I'm proud at the end of the day of the work that I've put in, which I can't say that really ever happened when I was working for someone else. I am currently in the middle of a 2,200 mile trip from Oregon all the way to the Gulf Coast in Texas. And so I'm here in Green River, Utah, where it is beautiful. I have to wear sunglasses and I can be outside. It's like 70 degrees. It's so great. We are back on the road and it's been awesome. During the first half of the drive, I did a Q&A on Instagram, just ask me anything. And a lot of the questions, almost all the questions, were about selling on Amazon. So I thought I would just go ahead and share the same questions here and answer them, going back to what I first used to do, because I think it really does answer a lot of questions that I get often. And so hopefully you'll find something helpful from this video. All right, so let's jump in. One of the questions I get asked most frequently is, what scanning app do I use? I just use the Amazon Seller app. It's free. It comes with your selling account, so if you don't have an account, while you can download the app from the App Store, you can't log in and do anything, so it's not of much help. But that is the app I've always used. There's a lot of apps out there. Inventory Labs has Scoutify or Scoutify 2. I don't use all those, but they are definitely they all kind of have the same information, so use the one that is best for you. For me, I just use the Amazon Seller app. Another question, the top stores to source at for FBA. My personal favorites are TJ Maxx, Home Goods, Marshalls. Those are all the same company. They all kind of have the same thing. So if you buy something at Marshalls, you can also probably find it at TJ Maxx or Home Good. And Ollie's they're kind of taking over. So if there was a Toys R Us in your area, it might now be an Ollie's, so definitely check it out. It's mostly on the East Coast and then in the middle. I don't know what you call it. It's like everywhere but the West Coast right now. But on the West Coast, there's Grocery Outlet, which I am really sad to be leaving behind, but Grocery Outlet is my jam. I loved it. So there's Grocery Outlet, Ollie's. I also like Walmart. I shop at Walmart a lot. Another question I was asked was, am I only sourcing clearance at Walmart because normal items aren't profitable? And I actually don't really source clearance a whole lot. If I see the aisle while I'm out at Walmart, I will go through and scan it, but I don't do that very often. The things I'm sourcing in Walmart are seasonal, toys, grocery, and health and beauty type items. So those are the aisles I'm going down. If you're a new seller, you should also go down the kitchen and the home because there's a lot of stuff there. If you're new, the clearance is a great place because you'll find stuff that you never would know to look for. So when I first started, I was in the clearance aisle and I found like a toilet cleaner. It was a great product. I sold a lot of them. I also found odor eaters, which you might have seen in a previous video. Another random item that was in the clearance item that I sold a lot of when I was starting out. So if you're gated in a lot of things, definitely the clearance aisle is a great place to start. Another question and comment was, I am starting next week. What's your best tip if you can only give one? And of course I can't just give one, but honestly the best tip is to not give up. Sellers make it on Amazon when they don't give up. So many people quit because it is hard. It is a lot of work in the beginning, but trust me, all that work you do in the beginning is worth it because it gets easier and it is not so hard later on. But a lot of people don't make it over that. So if you can just not give up, you really can make it. The other main tip is to set your expectations because you probably won't see any money back, even the money for inventory. So say you spent $500, you might not see that money after the items sell from Amazon for like 4 to 6 weeks. It takes a while. So if you set that expectation that you're not gonna get that money back right away, it really sets you up to not give up because you're not so like, oh, it's not working, I'm not seeing any money. You know what you're going into. So Don't give up and set your expectations. It really does help. Another number one newbie mistake is to not check the ranks and not use Keepa. I know it's confusing, but it's all not really all that hard, and I will link a video to Keepa here. But if you can double check that it has a rank that works. Again, I have my free rank guide when you sign up for my newsletter. But if you make sure that it has a rank that is worth it and you check Keepa, those will really help you make smart inventory decisions. You will be scanning for hours on end, but I'm telling you, it's worth it because all the mistakes and time you spend in the beginning pays off at the end. Another question I was asked was, do I have a date in mind for my FBA course? And if you didn't know, and you probably didn't because I have never announced it on YouTube yet, that I'm making a how to get started on Amazon beginner course. It's going to go over everything from how to set up your account to how to source, how to pack your shipment, all the stuff you really need to know to get started selling on Amazon and give you the best start possible. It's going to be a video training course. It's going to be outside of Facebook, so a lot of people don't like Facebook. I'm only on Facebook for my groups, honestly, but so it'll be outside. It'll hopefully eventually have its own app even, but the courses are coming. Beginning of April is my launch date time frame. I wanted to have it out already, but as you probably know, the renovation took a lot longer than I thought on the RV. So I'm sad that it kept getting pushed, but I really am pushing to get it out by the beginning of April. So if you want more information on that, the links are below and on my website. As much as I want you to take my course, don't wait for me to get started. If you want to start selling on Amazon, just start going. Get out there, create your account, and get the process going. I got two questions about books. One was, do I recommend starting with books first or just anything that you can sell, meaning anything you're not gated in? And another one was, how often do I source books? The answer is that I don't actually source a lot of books. I think I've sold maybe 10 to 15 books overall through all the 4 years. I don't do a lot of book sales, but a lot of people do start by selling books. So really it's up to you. If you want to start selling books, then start selling books. Books are a little different, and I highly recommend if you're going to sell it as new, make sure it's polybagged. I don't sell a lot, so I can't get into it all that much, but start whatever you want to start with. Honestly, start with scanning stuff around the house, just start. Another question, $355 buying inventory cost, $263 expected profit back from my first shipment. How does that sound? And I said, of course, that sounds great. You're getting almost 74% ROI back, and honestly, just getting your first shipment out is amazing, so congratulations on that, and you got a good profit to boot, so congrats. Another question was, do I sell FBA? This person has only been selling FBM, so they're curious about the FBA process and the shipping. I sell predominantly FBA. It's what I started with. Not until 2020 did I start getting into FBM because honestly I didn't know how to do it. And like anything, if you don't know what you're doing, it makes that, hurdle to go do it that much harder. But I do FBM occasionally because I travel and live in an RV. It's harder to hold all the inventory on hand because FBM is me shipping it direct to the customer, whereas FBA is I pack it all up in a box and send it to Amazon, and then Amazon sends it to the customer and as the customer service, which is awesome. So I mostly do FBA. The shipping for FBA, you can be anywhere from $7 to $20, $25 for a box shipment to a warehouse. And it really just depends where you're at, where it's going, how heavy it is. It's not really all that bad. I don't think I've ever had one big shipment, including all the different warehouses, over $100. I think the big ones are usually $83 to ship. So it comes out to less than 50 cents an item. And so anyways, that's the shipping expectation. Overall, it's cheaper to ship it all to Amazon. Another question, what is my way to source OA, which is online arbitrage? I don't do a whole lot of online arbitrage, again, because I travel and it's hard to coordinate shipping times and making sure I'm going to be there or it'll be there before I leave. So I don't do a whole lot of it, but when I do it, mostly I just scan the computer using my phone and pull up the listings just like I would be in the store. Some stores have the UPC on the product page, so you can just add it into Amazon and look, but I usually just have my laptop open and I search on my phone using my laptop. I did a whole video going further into it and what I look for, but if you're interested, I'll link it here, but that's how I do OA. Another question, the BOLO group or the ungated guide for new sellers, beginner sellers. Honestly, it kind of is up to you and what your budget is, because I think that getting ungated is more important in grocery and topical. I would say to do that before you join the BOLO group. That's what I would do. It's like $320 all in to get ungated in a lot of categories, but if you have the budget, it's worth it because you'll be able to find more high profit items in store and you'll be able to get more items off the BOLO list. But if you don't have a whole lot of budget and you have the money every month to join the BOLO group, you'll also learn a whole lot, get new ideas of where to source, what to source, things to look for, asking questions. Both groups are awesome, so it's really up to you and what your priorities are. If it was me, I would probably get Ungated and Grocery and Topical first, and then join the Bolo group. Okay, another question. When I do take profits, do I hold back money for taxes? I don't. I've never been a really good saver. I just pay what I owe on my taxes when I file my taxes every year. That's what I do. I'm not a tax expert, so please don't listen to me. What are the most profitable categories on Amazon? I'm assuming this means like, what do I sell on Amazon that's most profitable? And for me, it's really grocery, topical, toys. So topicals are like my year-round staple. I can always find really good topicals doing retail arbitrage. Toys and grocery kind of ebb and flow, and throughout the year they're really good. Then there's things, seasonal is also great. I source a lot of seasonal, whatever season we happen to be in. I'm always scanning it, and the key with seasonal is you want to get in early because that's where a lot of the great profits are. Okay, another question. Any tips on getting your sales tax certificate? I can't really tell you how to do it because it varies by state, but almost every state has a Department of Revenue website, so you just go on there and it's usually under business taxes, and it's called sales and use tax. So click around in there. You might have to register your business, and you can do it as a sole proprietor. You can usually get one, but definitely your Department of Revenue for your state is where to start. You can even Google your state plus sales tax certificate and see where that leads you. They are almost always free. The only one I know that charges you is Florida. So if you happen to end up on something that's trying to charge you, make sure you're on the government website and not someone with a service trying to charge you. That's all I'll say on that. What is my best department to source at Grocery Outlet? Hands down, the beauty aisle, that long aisle of all things beauty, like shampoos, all that kind of stuff. That is my favorite aisle, and I will usually spend an hour or two at Grocery Outlet scanning it. So yeah, that's my favorite. And then all the other dry groceries, you know, I don't do the heavy canned good type stuff, but anything that's lighter, I will scan all the groceries. Do you need to have an LLC to sell on Amazon? No, you don't. I started as a sole proprietor, so again, I'm not an expert in anything on what you should do for your business. I just started as a sole proprietor, so I know you don't have to have an LLC. Do you still think it's worth it to sell on Amazon doing FBA with all the fees taken out? 100% absolutely yes. FBA is so much easier. Selling on Amazon is awesome. And of course, since I'm using their platform instead of creating, you know, Nikki.com and selling my own stuff, trying to get all the marketing to get my customers to shop there, Amazon does it all. Everyone's shopping on Amazon all the time. I just shopped on Amazon this morning. Everyone's shopping there, so if you using their platform, I don't mind paying them a commission to sell products and make a profit. So it is worth it. You just have to find the right products that make a right profit, but it is so worth it to sell on Amazon, so 100% yes, it is worth it. Okay, my last question is about my Canada ungating guides. Does your Topical Canada guide have a supplier I can use to get ungated? Yes, all my guides come with the supplier, not just Canada, but US. All of them are telling you suppliers. Some have multiple suppliers in them. They're not only telling you the supplier, they're telling you how to order with them, how to work with them, how their website works, all of that. They're very detailed and they go into all of that. The Canada Topical guide is a US supplier, so you might have to pay more in shipping, but I'm telling you there's no minimum order. And at the end of the day, the Canada Topical and the US Topical are spending the same amount of money to get ungated because the US Topical has a minimum order of $200. The Canada doesn't, so you can place an order and get ungated in a lot of stuff for under $100, but then you have to pay like $100 for shipping. So it all comes out together. Anything ungating is a business expense. You are not going to make money on ungating. Sometimes you might get lucky and break even, but it is an expense to be able to sell all these categories that you can source at retail arbitrage, and it is worth it. It's always a tax write-off. You get to write off all your business expenses, all of that. So it's worth it to get ungated. If you think it's worth it for your business, I would suggest it. But anyways, so yes, all the guides come with suppliers who can help you get ungated. The Canada Toy Guide has multiple suppliers in Canada. The only one in Canada that is not is the Topical one. But again, if I had to do it, while it's a shock that you have to pay a lot in shipping, at the end of the day, it's still not all that much money to get ungated, so it's worth it, I think. But anyways, do what you think is best for your business, as always. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully next time we meet, I will be in Texas at the beach.